From the Figure 4 Online Studios in beautiful Bothell, Washington, exclusively at WrestlingObserver.com, you're listening to The Bryan and Vinny Show with your hosts, Bryan Alvarez and Big Vinny V.
All right, it is the Bryan and Vinny Show here, Thursday edition. Figure4online.com/WrestlingObserver.com, December 13th. We got like 25 bodies in this room.
Or 5.
Getting ready for the Christmas show here. You say that now, Vinny, you'll be sweating your ass off.
We'll have 25 on the Christmas show.
Yes, no, we'll have 6. If we're going to be Mr. I say a number and then you tell me the real number. We have 5 in here, we're going to have 6. Feels like a million. Thank God you're alive, Vinny. Who would I be burying across from this table if you were dead?
It would be different to have you just ranting across an empty room.
Yeah,
I guess you do that sometimes too.
I'd be yelling at Ken, Tony.
You do that, both of those two.
Yelling at Rodney over there.
No one ever yells at Rodney.
All right. Well, we're going to get Granny on the air here. I want Granny on the line when Vinny alerts everybody to what happened to him. Can you imagine Vinny dying after Retro Raw Nitro?
That would have been the last thing I did was talk about those shows and then pass away.
Oh, my God.
Actually, it makes sense.
It kind of would be poetic.
I can drive off this mountain now.
Yeah, so, Vinny almost died, everybody. We'll tell you all about that when Granny gets on the line, so stick around and let's not waste any time. Here we go. All right, we're back here on the show. Granny's joining us. One of those days where I wish we just would have been recording that moment there where I explained that Vinny almost died and there was a long pause, and then Granny said, "Is Rodney there?"
she just saw it as an opportunity to trade up.
Granny, let me repeat that. Vinny almost died.
Uh-oh, what happened?
Okay, that's what I was waiting for. Well, Vinny, what happened?
Well, I was driving home after the wonderful Bryan and Vinny and Craig show for Tuesday night, talking about Retro Raw Nitro, and we had some weather.
It's very rainy.
Very, very haily.
Yeah.
Up on the mountains there. So we're driving up Interstate 90.
Who's we, by the way? Was Bridget in the car?
Well, everyone who lives there.
No, you said like we were driving. Oh, so you were alone in the car.
I was alone in the car.
Okay.
There are other cars in the road.
Yes.
There are other people driving with me.
Yes.
So I'm heading up Interstate 90, approaching the city of Snoqualmie. Exit 25 goes to Highway 18, for those of you who know the area. And they got it down to one lane. And so we're all cruising along. It's a 70 mile an hour zone, but we're all doing like 45. Because it's one lane and it's rainy as hell.
Yes. And it's Seattle.
So the freeway opens up. We go from one lane to, I think it's 4 right there. And everyone's going to Highway 18. So they all stay in that right-hand lane. So I get the bright idea. That left lane's wide open. I'll probably be safer if I go over to that left-hand lane. And I go to the left-hand lane, and I'm thinking, we've been doing 55. I wonder how fast I'm going. And I look down, I'm doing 60 and a 70.
Ooh.
Doing 60 and a 70. Next thing I know, the front of my car starts to go over to the right. Now, I've driven in Seattle all my life.
Yes.
I've driven in rain before. I've hydroplaned many times. And I know what you do is, you just take your foot off the gas and keep the front of your car in front of the back of your car, and eventually you'll get traction again. This time it all happened so fast that I never had a chance to do that. The front of my car whipped around very quickly. I'm immediately going sideways. And at that point, I just slammed on the brakes and closed my eyes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Going 60?
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So next thing I know, my car has done a full spin. I'm going the wrong way. And I have bonked into the guardrail, which is a nice way of saying slammed. And I bonked. And I opened my eyes and they worked fine. And I did a quick body check. Everything on me worked fine.
I mean, did it hurt?
Honestly, it felt like I had taken a bump.
Oh,
sideways.
It
was not
so
ideal.
It's right. It's true what they say.
Yeah. It felt like a car wreck.
How about that? I always thought that was bullshit.
And I'm fine. I was fine immediately. My shoulder's a little sore. It's fine now. And I couldn't open my door. I thought it's because I was up against the guardrail.
Sure.
And it's pouring down rain. I don't want to get out anyway.
That's probably a bad idea on the freeway in the rain.
And the freeway's coming up. There's still all the cars coming.
Yeah.
And so I waited for a break in the traffic, and I just made sure my car would drive. And I pulled forward, and I started driving up the hill. And one person had stopped to make sure I had not gone
One
through
person?
One person.
Wow, that's nice.
Had stopped to make sure I had not plunged through the guardrail and gone over the side of the hill, down the mountain to my doom.
Yeah.
The guardrail saved my life. And I saw they had stopped, and so I thought, well, I should pull up behind them. I exchanged information. And as soon as I pulled up behind them, they took off.
Oh, my God.
Now, because...
Washington, Rodney.
Yeah. So, okay, fine. And I very carefully drove home. And as we speak, I believe my car has been towed to a lot in Linwood. If it hasn't been towed yet, it'll be tomorrow. I'm honestly not sure. But Bridget sent me some pictures, and in daylight, the pictures to the damage don't look that bad.
Sure.
It's very minor. It looks like it's all bodywork damage, but it's bodywork damage to like 4 different panels.
That's not good.
No. And the car is 2005 Cavalier with 200 and some thousand miles on it. So I'm assuming that my insurance company is going to look at this and say, we're not fixing this.
And that may be a good
Here's your check.
guess.
You're getting a new car.
Yeah.
So
at least you'll get a check this time.
yeah, last time I got a bill.
That is it's a big improvement this time.
It's a huge improvement.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have nothing to complain about.
Wow,
I'm
so-
alive and I'm getting money.
So if there'd been no guardrail there, you've gone down the cliff.
I probably.
Wow.
I'm going to drive by. I'm driving by the same spot tonight, much more carefully,
I bet.
and I'll see if like the guardrails are all warped. I might take photos.
You
But,
should take photos. Wow.
that's that. Yeah.
What do you think about that, Granny?
Wow.
Yeah, we're glad he's alive, huh?
Yeah.
And Rodney's here.
I didn't realize it was that bad.
Did you know about this? Had you heard the story?
No. From the beginning.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
When he said he almost died, I didn't think it was.
I could easily have died.
He could easily have died, Granny. This was a car wreck going 60 on a rainy freeway on a mountain
With a line
next to a ravine.
with a line of cars coming up behind me.
Yep. Could have been a tragedy, Granny.
I could have killed someone else.
Yeah, this is terrible.
But we're good.
Wow. Be thankful.
I am.
That's right. He's
I
very
actually
thankful.
am, honestly.
He's so thankful to be here reviewing wrestling today.
Yeah.
What are you driving?
Well, right now, today, I borrowed Bridget's car.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a RAV4.
He's married, Granny.
We both have cars. Or at least we will
Share
soon
cars.
again both have cars, yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine Rodney? Rodney can't believe the drivers here. It's just terrible drivers here in Seattle, Vinny. I'm not saying you're a terrible driver, but
Well, and-
you've witnessed many of these awful drivers.
Yes.
And Brian, can you imagine little Carlos and Cliffy out there?
Yeah? What about it?
Pretty scary.
They're driving.
Dude, there's a
down, right?
million people on the road in Washington, Granny.
Scary.
Tony, it's very scary your kids are driving. I mean, she may be right, actually.
She drives, right?
Well, yeah, you drive too, Granny. I followed you home.
Yeah. I only drive about 2 miles every time.
Well, where do you think Cliff and Carlos are going? They're only going 2 miles.
I know, but still, they're going to be out there, and it's just dangerous.
They're out there. There's
Well,
danger.
Granny, maybe you should stop driving then. It's too dangerous. Swear to God, today, Roddy was in the car with me. People think I make these stories up. One person going the wrong way on a one-way, right? And another person pulled out right in front of me. These people cannot drive, Granny. And I followed you. Granny. I don't want you making fun of anyone else's driving.
I didn't do anything wrong. I went back later and checked, and I was right.
All right, can we do the Facebook thing right here?
Okay. In fact, I've got 60 of them.
Oh, I can't wait to do 10.
Questions.
Let's get going. Vinny, what do we got?
First question's from me, Rodney Rogers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He doesn't even know this. Maybe it's
Granny?
a different Rodney.
It might be.
We have 2 Mike Sempervives.
Did you have a stalker or what's the term when someone just pretends to be somebody else? A fake Rodney.
A doppelganger?
One female. That wasn't me.
Granny,
We got 5 people in this room and only 2 mics on, and we're talking to everybody.
I will say this: when I forget even what was said, but when everyone else started laughing, this show is better with a laugh track. we need a laugh track and/or a live audience.
Vinny, I don't know if you recall this,
Preferably a laugh track.
but a long time ago, Primetime Wrestling got a live studio audience, and it killed the show.
It did.
It fucking sucked.
I also had Vince in like weightlifting gear.
That's true as well, but I could do that.
You could actually.
Let's do this.
You're here like Jack LaLanne.
Yeah.
Rodney Rogers wants to know, Granny, were you the first person to have the talk with Brian about the birds and the bees?
Oh, I'm going to kill you.
Heavens, no.
Heavens, no.
There's a million jokes I want to make, and I can't make them because you actually do have a daughter. So clearly you know something.
Oh, this day.
Paul Sandman Muir, what is the average airspeed velocity of a fully unladen swallow?
This is what we've come to, Vinny. Don't you know to X these out?
No, these are the good ones.
Oh, I'd hate to hear the bad ones.
You answer that one.
Yeah,
Vinny.
Vinny.
Well, is it African or European?
What's the question?
What is the average airspeed velocity of a fully unladen swallow?
Who knows?
No.
Who cares?
Okay, moving on.
Thank you, Granny.
Ryan T. Norcross.
Vinny is so happy to be alive.
I am.
Just whatever.
Of course, it's stupid. Who cares? Just saw It's a Wonderful Life in color. What is your
How
thoughts
ironic.
on colorizing black and white movies?
What do you think, Granny? Colorizing black and white movies, yay or nay?
Yes.
Okay.
Really?
That'd be nice. Be nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes you not feel so old, huh? Do I need to give Rodney a mic, or what's going on over there?
No.
Jesus.
Ronnie is talking a lot.
We can hear you over there, but we only hear your voice. We can't hear what you're saying. Okay, let's get going.
Oh,
I
God.
turn it on anyway.
Dan Whittier wants to know who is your favorite Pokemon?
Never had one.
Vinny is clearly
I'm over
he's been born again. Jesus, you would have X'd out every one of these stupid questions before you almost died.
Should I try and pick through for better ones?
Nah, go for it.
Ryan Fraser
Live a
asks,
little.
why does someone believe you when you say there are 4 billion stars, but check when you say the paint is wet?
'Cause they're dumb. All right, next question.
I'm lost for comments on some of these.
I don't think you've commented on one.
I don't think she has either. Buzz Newman says, Granny, would you play and review WWE 2K19?
On what?
A video game system.
But where's she going to get a video game system?
Her sugar daddy grandson.
Oh, yeah?
Moving on. Nathan Edward Priam. Oh, yes, Granny?
Don't want one.
Okay. Thank you for letting us know. Hi, Granny. When was the last time you went to the movies?
I would say it's probably been about 5 years ago.
What was the movie?
What are those little Muppets or whatever? What those-
Muppets in Space?
Muppets or whatever.
No. What's the gal? Piggy or whatever?
Miss Piggy?
I think Nikki and I went.
They did the Muppets. A couple of Muppet movies recently.
Yeah, that's the
Hornswoggle
last
was in
one.
one.
Yeah, that was 2011. That was 7 years ago.
Yeah, that's how long it's been. There.
Or she's talking about the Muppet movie from 1979.
No.
Okay.
Andrew J. Markle has a good question. Granny, what are your memories of Nixon and the Watergate scandal?
Oh,
Did the president have what was coming to him, or do you feel he got a bad rap?
I can't wait to hear this answer.
Little of each.
So
Was that a good answer?
So he did bad things, but the punishment did not fit the crime.
Sort of. Compared to nowadays.
well,
Say not that one.
Say
next
no
question.
more.
Joe Weaver says, hello, Granny. Do you remember how old you were when you stopped believing in Santa Claus?
You know, I was thinking about that. I don't think I even knew there was a Santa Claus
Hadn't even been invented.
until I had kids or whatever.
And suddenly you're expected to just buy presents for no reason.
No, we didn't buy presents. I mean, Christmas was just another day.
I think the real answer is that when she was young, she was very naughty.
That actually is totally believable.
Yeah, thank you.
Why would I be naughty?
That's why Santa never came.
That's right.
Dan Beecher wants to know what's the better Christmas movie, and these are his options: Jingle All the Way, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Let me guess. He adds Die Hard.
or The Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Oh, okay.
The what? Santa Claus what?
The Santa Claus, like CLAUSE, like
I
illegal.
haven't seen either one of those.
What if they had a Muppet?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing either one of those, though.
Maybe we'll set it up for you.
I'm sure
Sure.
Target will have those.
Yeah. For the DVD player she doesn't have, we need a VHS.
She's got a computer, get a streaming somewhere.
I have a recorder, but I don't know how to work it.
A recorder.
Like a DVD recorder?
Well, whatever. When you play stuff on them,
That's a player.
player. I have a player, but
You don't know how to use it.
no, I don't know how
Okay.
to.
All right. Is it part of your VCR? Mm-hmm. Okay. Hell of a box.
My brother bought it for me.
That's a family heirloom then.
Actually, yes. It is an heirloom now. It is an antique.
Antique. David O'Neill says the ultimate question, Granny, is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Ugh,
That's,
I've been a psychic all week.
that's the one I haven't seen.
I'll bet you'd love that one.
She might. Most people would. It's a hell of a movie.
Who's in that?
Bruce Willis.
Oh, really?
There's Detective John McClane.
Didn't you used to like that show that he was in with Sybil Shepherd? What the hell was that?
Moonlighting.
Oh,
Moonlighting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's got Hans Gruber.
I knew
I
Granny would
remember.
like that one.
Remember that one. Yeah.
They have actually now finally taken that movie and they've actually made a children's Christmas book out of it.
Out of Die Hard?
Yeah, the whole story is told in a poem. It's
Oh, wow.
awesome. It's tremendous.
Wow.
Josh Wolfick wants to know, what is a new Christmas tradition you would like to start? How old are you, Granny?
89.
Do 89-year-olds start things very often?
Yeah.
All right.
Less presents.
Less presents.
Your Christmas sounds awesome, Granny. I'll be sure to come to your Christmas party.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to be getting less presents for Paisley this year.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
I was sitting here looking at a catalog. I'm just going to order some stuff.
All right.
That
So
works.
I don't
A
have
catalog.
so I don't have to go out to the stores.
What kind of catalog is this?
Well, it's called just a minute.
Okay.
It's called the Swiss Colony. And it's got a lot of good stuff in it.
I bet it does.
And I ordered things last year and they all came out good, so I'm going to do it again this year. I don't want to go out and shop.
God damn, Swiss Colony catalog comes right up.
Some chocolates right there.
That's a bunch of holiday rigmarole. Cakes and desserts,
Sausage
food,
and
gifts.
cheese bars, gift assortment.
Wow, that sounds disgusting.
Nothing better than
No.
pasteurized
Sausage
processed cheese.
Sausage gifts.
There's other
Here's a
things
bunch
in
of
there.
sausages. Merry Christmas.
Oh, gifts for him.
Yeah, there's a lot of good
Premium nuts,
Sweaters,
sausages.
multi-function tool with light.
stuff. All kinds of stuff.
I was going to say, is it a Vinny Victor? All right, what's next?
Oh, God.
Can you read one, Vinny? Hurry up.
Sorry. Louis K. wants to know, would you rather Bryan quit wrestling or quit watching current/retro Raw? I think the latter would be better for his health.
I agree.
All right. Done.
You're off the hook.
You got it now, Vinny.
He has been sounding pretty mad lately.
You don't say, Granny. I have been.
Matthew James Sullivan wants to know, are candy canes the most overrated holiday treat?
Yes.
Okay, this is actually funny in this Swiss Colony catalog. So we got Petite Fours, which is a cake, nuts, candy, cakes and desserts, breakfast gifts, gluten-free, cookies and brownies, and then pants. Like gifts for him, there's like pants. What does that have to do with anything else here?
There's got a whole section of different things.
So where's the gifts for her? That's
There's
just
some in there.
candy?
There's some in there, too.
Okay.
How about the gun handle cane?
Wow.
It's a cane.
Oh, yeah, I kind of like to have that one.
I bet you would.
Write that down.
It's marked down, Brian, from $49.99 to $44.99. That's 10%.
I'd be afraid to walk around with it, though.
Well, it does look like a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Product details.
Can you imagine how far I'd get with that?
Gun
Probably all over the
aficionados
place.
will get a bang out of the non-functional gun handle on this stately cane.
Where is this?
No concealed carry permit needed. There's nothing concealed about it.
Where are you finding this?
Those are the gifts for men.
Oh, the gifts from men. Okay. Read a couple more of these.
Next to
Vinny.
the wildlife billfold wallet. In case you want your wallet to look like the cheapest can of beer.
Billfold.
Oh, God. Okay. So you know how a lot of your neighbors they don't bother putting up Christmas lights. They just put the gimmick in the yard that does like green dots in their house.
Sure,
that
yeah.
sprays them up.
Yeah.
You can do that, only instead of like green dots or snowflakes, NFL team logos.
Oh, wow.
They got the Bears here on display. $66.99.
All right, keep moving here.
Back to Facebook then.
Yeah.
Tattoo Colonin. Hi, Granny. What should I give as a Christmas present for someone who has everything?
I'd like to have him tell me.
Good thing we're having
Sorry,
them
Tattoo, we
ask
cannot help you.
questions.
I never know what.
Everyone just start providing answers on the Facebook page. No more questions.
Hey, they can do the answers, and I'll give the questions.
That's a great idea.
We got to do this next week. We have to do this next week.
All right. Next
All right.
week, everyone give an answer.
Yes.
And Granny will then find a question that fits that answer.
I like this. This is our best idea in years.
I can't see how this could possibly go wrong.
No, this will be great. All right, one more. Why can't I find this goddamn gun, Kane?
Haggai Philosoph. Granny, what is your New Year's resolution? Mine is to go to my first wrestling show live.
Well, I guess the only one I could have is try to stay alive.
That's every year she does that one.
That's all I can do.
I want to do one more.
Okay.
Chicky Singer.
God.
Would Bryan be more happy doing an After Dark show than doing the Bryan and Vinny show? He seems to hate doing the Bryan and Vinny show lately and talking about how the old
No,
Raw
I hate Tuesday.
and talking about how the old Raw and Nitro suck. What's wrong?
Nothing.
Okay, you looked at the monitor with a...
Like, are we done yet?
All right, Granny, are we done yet?
Let's do the wrestling report.
It's up to you guys.
Okay, wrestling.
Oh, shoot, I hate this. NXT. It's Dawn versus Killer Kelly. The usual kicks and top of the rope and,
NXT UK.
and out of the ring and a flying headbutt, and Dawn was vicious. Forgot what she did to win, but Dawn won.
You rewrote your entire set of notes and you still don't know why she won?
Yeah, I watched so much I forgot. Anyway, give that a 5.
Okay.
Excellent.
And then there was another NXT, was Webster versus Fabian. And they had a football helmet in the ring.
That's
I don't know
wacky.
why.
That's
Yeah.
really weird.
Fabian tried to handshake. Webster hit him instead. And gave Fabian an elbow chin chop. Webster fell out of the ring.
Oh, wait, here.
Okay, banged him against the head, and
What?
He banged him against the head.
boy, I can't read my reading here. Webster, he won somehow. Let's put it that way.
Granny,
She's done. This is all...
you need to start taking some naps, Granny. This is
Hey,
embarrassing.
listen, this is more fun.
Okay.
I gave that a 5.
Everything is he won somehow, and they all get a 5.
I'm getting so sick and tired of watching it. That's what's happening.
You can watch
here.
any damn thing you want, Granny. We have to watch this bad stuff. You can watch anything.
Okay. I kind of, one time I asked you how Vicky Guerrero got fired, or did she get fired, or did she quit?
I don't know. You tell me.
Okay, I'll tell you.
Okay.
I looked it up.
All right.
There was Vince and Steph and Triple H sitting at a table, and Vicky is standing in front of the table with Brad Maddox.
Oh,
Your boy
favorite.
Brad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they discussed the pros and cons of her performance, and Vince wants to keep her, but Steph and Triple H, he comes out and talks about what bad things she's done to him, and so Steffi wants her to go, so she says, "You're fired." And poor Vicky, she gets all uptight, so she actually lays down on the mat and screams like a little kid. And then she gets up on her hands and knees on the table. And so when it's all over, Vince comes out and says, well, I guess I'll have to have, what's his name? Brad Maddox take over for her. And Brad had the most shocked look on his face. And that was about it for that. Then they did have some stuff about her husband, how they made him so famous and everything.
Cool.
Excellent.
I'm looking here throughout the Swiss colony.
Are you still looking at that?
In the meats and cheeses department. Did you know, Brian, that for the price of $16 to $39.99, you can get, I'm not making this up, the original beef log.
Oh, wow.
All caps.
Can you get out the side of the nuts?
Maybe. The finest beef, zesty spices, and patient hardwood smoking.
Wow.
Hardwood smoking in the beef log.
They got good stuff in there.
I guess they do.
Okay.
All right.
Here we got Booker T, Undertaker, and Goldust
Okay.
versus Un-American members, Christian, Lance Storm, and I think it was Styx.
Finally, you found a Lance Storm match.
Yeah. Somebody sent me this, I think.
She did last week, didn't she? He slam dunked him.
Booker T got the worst of the deal. Everybody just beat up on him, something terrible. And I got to see Undertaker throw Lance out of the ring and give him one of his favorite neck chops. I mean, chokeholds. And that was a very good match, back and forth, but Lance wasn't in it that much. But boy, they sure beat up on poor Booker T.
Man.
And so Undertaker's gang won that one. I gave that a 10.
Oh, wow.
Okay, then I got this email from Ed.
I knew this was coming.
Remember those matches? I watched all three of them, and it was so confusing. Vinny, was that you in the ring?
At the end of one of the matches, yes, I appeared.
Oh, I thought it was, but I didn't even know you were there.
I was not advertised. It was a special surprise trophy presentation.
Okay, and it was supposed to be in honor of me, but I didn't see anything at all about Granny anywhere. Nowhere.
I hope you're listening, Ed.
Nothing. Anyway, it was Mia Yen.
Mia Yen?
Isn't it Yen?
Okay.
Is it?
That's close enough. Yim.
And Yim. Oh, YM. And Leva Bates
Yes, yes.
against XIA, Brookside, and Miranda, ALICE.
So Ed sent you to this he sent you this to review.
Yeah, I had to
Okay.
watch all three of them.
All right.
She had
But
to.
I'm only talking about one. Mia does a leg kick and gets a knee bend sub on Leva. And then a neck lock, roll around, and then they roll around each other trying to get down enough so they the ref could count 3, and they just keep rolling and stopping and rolling and going some more. And then Miranda comes in, and so I guess she's against Leva. And so every time they want to start doing something, she crosses her arms across her chest. And she just kind of prolongs it that way for some time. And then they have a backdrop, a chin kick, chin chop, and the team that won comes in on one match, has the whole thing was very confusing. Oh, Vinny came in with an envelope. What did you have, Vinny, in your envelope?
It's supposed to be Wendy's gift cards.
Yeah,
Oh,
'cause
really?
it was a Granny Classic.
Yes.
The winners got Wendy's gift cards.
Oh, I saw a couple of the
Ed's
gals.
a real high rolling promoter here.
Some of them, one of them grabbed him and ran with it.
Big Wendy's fan.
That was really a very confusing and long matches.
Here's your review, Ed. Your show
Yeah,
is long
I
and
hope you're
confusing.
happy, Ed.
Well,
What did you score it?
I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying that it was really very confusing.
That's not bad.
No.
I'll give that a 6.
That's not bad. A 6.
Nothing I like more than a confusing wrestling match.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that was it.
Oh, man. That's it.
Yeah. Sorry about the confusion, but I think it's fun.
Well, Granny, I think it's time for a nap.
Yeah, I get so tired of it, I just don't care what I'm doing.
Good. Are you going to stop by for the Christmas show on Sunday, or what's your plan?
What's a Christmas show? What Christmas show?
Are you kidding me?
No.
Could someone call 911?
Brian, what are you talking about?
Okay, Granny, I'm about to lose my temper here. The Christmas show. You messaged me about coming over.
Oh, no, I'm not going to come over.
Okay. You at least know what I'm talking about?
I forgot all about your Christmas show.
Okay, well, be ready, because we're going to call you. Maybe.
I didn't think you were ready yet.
For what? You coming over?
For the show. I thought you'd have it a little bit later.
No, it's this coming Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Lance is going to be here, and Filthy's going to be here, and Rodney's going to be here. All sorts of folks are going to be here, Granny. You sure you don't want to come over?
I don't know. I'll think about
Craig
it.
will be here, Vinny, myself, producer Rob.
I'll come and get her.
Rodney says he'll come and get you.
Well, if I can only stay at just about 10 minutes and then come back.
All right, maybe 10 minutes. Why don't you wear a mask while you're at it?
What's that supposed to mean?
I'll message you later, Granny. You had a great concern about coming over for the show. I'm trying to ease your mind.
Oh, because I'm looking old?
Yeah. Granny didn't want to come over because she's afraid she'll look old. You're 89, Granny. I hate to say it, but you're old.
I know.
Okay. Well, don't worry about it. Rodney will pick you up this coming weekend. All right?
What time about?
Don't worry about it. We'll text you about that later.
We will fit it into your busy schedule.
Any other tiny, minute details that we can talk about here on the air? You there?
Barely.
Okay. Granny, I'll text you all the information later, all right?
All right.
Okay, go take a nap, okay?
I'm going to bed. What's the matter with a nap?
Go ahead. Go straight to bed.
See you tomorrow, Rodney.
Rodney, see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, Greg.
Yeah, he says see you tomorrow. He'll be there.
Who's laughing?
Rodney.
Rodney says he'll see you tomorrow.
No, somebody else is
No,
laughing.
Rodney
That's
laugh more.
Rodney is over there laughing. You want me to
Here,
turn
I will
his
turn
mic
my
on?
mic down.
Here, Rodney, laugh again. That's Rodney. You happy?
All right.
Goodbye.
What
What are you mad at me for?
Why are you mad at us? It's Rodney.
No, I didn't care.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have you ever noticed that anytime there's something coming over the weekend that I'm excited about, she finds a way to ruin it?
She's got a gift.
Remember the Marco Stud match? She fucking buried Black Label Pro.
Yeah.
Now the Christmas show's coming this weekend, and she's like, Christmas show? What?
First, what? And then she just want to come.
Ugh.
It won't be any fun, clearly.
Every time. Every time. I can't escape it. All right, let's do these shows here.
WWE NXT, December 12th, 2018. Bobby Fish versus EC3.
Oh, by the way. All right, go ahead.
All right. Bobby Fish versus EC3.
She watches this, so. Yeah.
So Adam Cole cuts a promo saying EC3 thought coming to NXT would elevate him. He was mistaken. Bobby Fish put him on the shelf for months, and they're going to be dominant for a whole decade. So they're doing this match, and it's Bobby Fish and EC3. And I'm thinking, EC3 is not bad, but Fish is just better. He just is. And as I think this, and as I'm about to write it down, Bobby Fish is running the ropes, and his neck slips under the top rope, and he comes up and he throats himself on the top rope.
Yeah.
Which everyone who's ever run the ropes has done at least once, and it sucks.
I guess I sort of did. But I slipped.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, but I never did that one.
Okay.
That one was brutal.
It sucks. And it looked like it sucked.
He almost cut his neck off of his own neck.
Yeah.
That's how I wrote it here. Mm-hmm. He got powerbombed half to death early. He took a beating.
He did.
And then EC3 won.
EC3 wins with a small package out of nowhere. So doing this beatdown.
Okay, I got to describe what I saw, Vinny. Then you can go ahead. Undisputed Era. Because I was doing something during this match, so I only saw a couple of things. And I saw the powerbomb, I saw the necking, and I saw EC3 win. And I'm finishing up what I'm doing, and all of a sudden, a wall of fat hit the ring. Am I wrong about that?
No, that's about it.
Fucking Otis Dozovich. I cannot properly express how much I love Otis Dozovich. You understand?
I do.
I'd have him be the godfather of my child. I love this man. He never should come out without a shirt on again.
He came out without a shirt on.
He was so fat looking. And he's like a big, strong, powerful guy.
Yeah.
And in his gear, He's a big, strong, powerful guy. He took his gear off and everything just spilled out. He's running around the ring clubbering guys.
I will be honest. When I realized it was heavy machinery with no shirts on, I was expecting worse. And it was two very, very powerful.
Let me make something
also
clear, by the
slightly
way.
fat guys.
Let me make something clear, by the way. After many years of doing this show, I need to make this clear because I think there's a misunderstanding. I don't have anything against fat people. How dare you, Ken? Okay?
No one's ever listened to this show.
No, you don't get it, Vinny. There's two things. Number one, yes, most of my friends are fat, okay? That's America.
That's true.
Most of America's fat, okay? I would prefer if my friends didn't die because they were too fat. You know what I'm saying?
So you shame them.
I don't shame them, but I'm just like, if you lost like a little bit of weight, but I don't dislike fat people, okay? Honest to God, Bryan Alvarez, I don't really give a shit how fat Otis Dozovich is, all right? But when I do this show, I look at this show and I think about, I put myself in Vince's head. Do you know what I mean?
Vince likes...
Do you know who did not end up in the greatest Royal Rumble?
Otis Dozovich.
They put the other guy in.
Who was not skinny.
He's not skinny, but he's tall.
He is tall.
Okay. So I just, it's a good thing that Vince doesn't watch NXT.
Yeah.
Because I can see him watching this show, and Otis comes out, and he's looking that fat, and it's like,
the only thing
that's it.
I can say to that is that with Vince, you better have rock hard chiseled abs or just be monstrously obese.
But he's not that monstrously obese.
That's what I'm saying. Vince would look at him and say, "You need to add 100 pounds."
Yeah, but that'd be a bad.
It would. I do not want Otis Dozovich to gain 100 pounds.
But if you put him in something that kind of contains everything, he's a big, powerful, strong, awesome guy.
Yeah.
But he's unfortunately still fairly short. But he's not even that short. I guess I keep saying he's short, but he's not short.
Shorter than Tucker.
They put him with a fucking tall guy.
Yeah.
And because of his
and he's wide.
He's wide, so he looks like he's 2 feet tall.
Yeah.
But he's not. He's like your height.
He's probably 6 feet tall, yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, he needs to put a shirt on. I say that with love.
So they cleared the ring, and I wrote this, and I stand by it. This was a segment I will never forget. Dakota...
We even talk about the worm?
He did the shirtless worm.
Otis did his shirtless...
Caterpillar, they call it.
He did his worm, and he does his elbow, and, I mean, he'll never do this on me, okay?
You would die.
He leaps in the air, and he makes sure that he turns just enough that he crushes his opponent. He crushed Kyle O'Reilly. It's not like the elbow where you drop the elbow and like the guy's body is in here.
Sure.
Like he leaps in the air and he just turns completely sideways and he lands on him in such a way that he kind of goes boing. It's like a ball. He kind of bounces off him and then comes back down. This has to suck.
Dakota Kai and Io Shirai do a promo in the parking lot. We'll cut to the chase. They want Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir in a tag match for next week.
Yeah.
That's fast for two people who haven't actually wrestled yet.
They've wrestled in the house shows.
On TV, yeah. The Mighty versus Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan. If you have ever seen a Mighty versus Burch and Lorcan match, this was one of those. I felt like I've seen this 200 times.
Yeah, but most of them are actually better.
All right. It was one giant spot. They're going a million miles an hour. Everything's choreographed dot to dot to dot. They broke up some pins. There was a cute slap spot where the Mighty got tricked into slapping each other. That was funny. And then Burch and Lorcan won with an assisted DDT.
Well, I don't want to be Mr. Negative here because I love NXT, and this match was okay.
It was fine.
But you know what it was? It was a match where you had four guys who've worked together a few times, and so this time they had like 50 ideas for spots. Mm-hmm. And the match is like 7 minutes long. And so they just did wacky spot, wacky spot, wacky spot. It was like a 30-minute epic tag team WrestleMania match in 7 minutes on NXT TV.
Kinda.
And like some of it looked really good. Some of it was sloppy. It wasn't exactly smooth. It was all right.
Got a Johnny Gargano selfie promo from the parking lot. So I do like that Johnny is obsessed with Tommaso Ciampa. And one way or another, this storyline is going to get them two back on opposite sides of the ring. But he is so obsessed with Tommaso Ciampa that he has stolen the gimmick of doing selfie promos. I never mentioned Ciampa here. He was only talking about Aleister Black, who says, Aleister, you claim that you absolved me of my sins, but I had no sins, because the end will justify my means. When I am NXT champion and all the fans are happy, then you will just be a guy who got attacked in the parking lot. That's just the price you had to pay. You were in the wrong place at the wrong time. You were in Johnny's way. And next week, in that steel cage, I'm going to close the book on Aleister Black.
Yeah.
It was good. Dijakovic promo.
The debut is next week.
Thank God. These promos were not very good, and they got old real quick.
Keep in mind, he's already been on TV.
Yeah, several times.
Yeah.
Or a couple times at least. But it's a re-debut. Horsewomen promo. They're asked about facing Dakota and Io, and they just laugh. And Marina and Jessamyn didn't talk at all. It was all Shayna doing all the talking. So that's the tag match, everybody.
Yeah, and I don't know. I actually don't know what happens. I forget the spoilers, but it's NXT, and so my presumption is that Marina and Jessamyn lose in their debut. So they do for everybody, right?
They will go back and forth in their debut. Lucha Underground beats people in their debut.
Now, a lot of people have lost in their debut here, but
Something like Keith Lee.
I guess they do go back and forth, yeah.
Matt Riddle did the same thing?
Yep.
Yeah.
Where was Riddle this week? Where was his music?
Don't know.
God damn.
Lacey Evans is in the 4-way for the women's title shot.
Oh, my God. I almost was going to go back and write this down, but I was like, I'll be here literally all night. So, this is the news, everybody. Regal says the second competitor in the women's #1 contender fatal 4-way is Lacey Evans. Got it? Percy Watson has this piece of paper with the information on it. And he fucking starts reading and reading and reading and reading and reading. And all of a sudden I realize he's still fucking talking about this. He talked for like 30 seconds. And all he said was what I just read there in like 2 seconds. What would he have to say?
Don't know.
I was baffled.
I thought you were reacting to William Regal's tweet.
No.
It was also like 3,000. It was like a two-parter.
But I mean, it's two-parter on Twitter. So you're like, what, 300 characters or something like that? Percy Watson said like 300 words.
He had a book to read. Mia Yim versus Reina Gonzalez. Reina is the Mae Young Classic competitor who is still wearing denim chaps.
Yeah.
Instead of wearing leather chaps over denim, she's wearing denim chaps over leather. All right.
Is that a faux pas?
It's unusual.
Well, this is professional wrestling, dude.
It is.
Everything's unusual.
That's true.
Percy Watson took 3 years to... Anyway.
This is the women's version of when Hunter used to wear the denim sleeveless jacket over his leather jacket.
Yeah, he did that.
Same thing. Maybe that's why she did it. So there was not much of this match.
Well, she'd be pretty smart then, huh?
I guess so. Reina manhandled for a while, tried a backbreaker, and Mia escaped, hit a bunch of strikes, hit Eat Defeat, and she won.
Yeah. Surprised Ed didn't have to send some information in about this.
Aleister Black hype video. This was awesome.
This was a rare promo where they played weird music in the background.
And it worked.
And it worked great.
It worked because it's Aleister Black.
It was a dark room.
He's a weird guy.
There was a dark room, and he had lighting on him, and there was, like, smoke coming in. It sounds so stupid when you, like, hear me explain it.
Yeah.
There's a dark room. He's looking off camera, which, can you imagine, by the way? Wait till Kevin Dunn sees this.
Yeah.
He'll have to face the camera and have someone hold a mic up. But anyway, he's looking off camera. The lighting's on him. Smoke's wafting in. There's weird music. It cuts a promo, and it was different. It was good.
It was cool, and he made it work. Says Johnny is beyond absolution. And really, he didn't say that much. He's going to kick Johnny's ass, beat him in the cage, and make him fade to black.
Yep.
In the main event, Ricochet defending the North American title against a mystery opponent. And the mystery was returning to NXT, Tyler Breeze.
Dude, I'm not going to go on a rant here. If you want to hear a rant, you can listen to Observer Live, but this fucking main roster is such shit. They bring Tyler Breeze in here. Tyler fucking Breeze. And he is so over. He was more over in 5 seconds on NXT TV. I'm not even saying that he was on the main roster. Like, probably 3/4 of the main roster has not been as over this year as he was coming out here for NXT. Right?
Yeah.
You don't watch the main roster. What am I asking you
I
for?
watch pay-per-views.
I'm telling you. Yeah, he was so over,
I'd watch TLC this weekend.
and they had a perfectly fine match. There was nothing like blowaway about it.
No.
But the place is going crazy. They think that Tyler might win the title, which he didn't.
No.
But they had a hell of a little match.
They had a perfectly... I can't say NXT main events this year have been really awesome. If I'm being honest, most of them were better than this.
Well, yeah.
But this is a fine TV main event.
It was fine.
Yes, it fit in.
It was better than fine. It was good.
It was a good TV main event. And the crowd was totally into it. And Tyler's never able to hit the beauty shot, the spinning kick that it's his finish, which you wouldn't know if you watch the main roster because he never wins.
That's
But,
for sure.
Yeah. But he hits like a super kick and a big drop kick. And finally he goes for the beauty shot, but Ricochet catches him and then throws him on his shoulders and hits a wacky Michinoku driver thing for the win.
You know what's so amazing, too, is when Tyler Breeze came out, he comes out and he's got his gear on, his main roster gear. He's got like a furry jacket and he's got his
And the boots.
cane gun or whatever. He's got his boots on.
Selfie stick.
Selfie stick, whatever the hell it is. And he comes out there and he is overflowing with confidence.
Yes.
Because he's back in NXT where like he can do shit and where people care about him and where they're going to use him and present him as a main eventer. And he's walking around this fucking ring and I was like, that poor Ricochet just looks like a guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just looked like a fella out there. And Tyler Breeze looked like a superstar. I thought, and they can't figure out one fucking thing to do with this guy.
Yeah.
His partner gets hurt, and they just can't figure out anything to do with Tyler Breeze.
They just give up.
30 fucking people. $5 billion his company is valued at.
Yeah.
We can't figure out what to fucking do with Tyler Breeze. Let's just send him back to NXT. He waltzes in, and he's a superstar. They probably could have put the fucking title on him here, and it wouldn't have been a disaster.
No.
He shouldn't be like a long-term champion, but they could have done that. It would have gotten over.
They actually, there's no reason they could not have put the belt on him and have Ricochet win it back at TakeOver.
Yep.
Yeah.
This was mind-blowing.
I thought, by the way, you were going to talk about when Tyler Breeze came out, the amazing thing was Rodney singing along to his theme song.
Well, yeah.
That was-
Rodney does a lot of singing on the couch, I noticed.
That was amazing.
Yeah. He's not even paying attention, but he sings along. So that was NXT.
The music on WWE is often the best part of the show.
I liked the main event. I thought the show was really good.
Nothing wrong with
I
that.
love NXT TV.
And then we watched, on the heels of WWE Rivalries, Ric Flair versus Dusty Rhodes, we watched WWE Rivalries, Hulk Hogan versus Roddy Piper.
I liked the one last week enough that I thought, let's watch this one. Mm-hmm. It came up as a recommendation.
All right?
Fuck them. I thought this sucked. Like, it was cool because like there was some great interviews with Roddy.
Yeah.
And there was some fun like historical clips and that sort of thing. But boy, was this full of shit.
This was a lot of bullshit.
It was so much bullshit and like, fuck, you got Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper. Half of this is their feud in the 80s, the early 80s, 84, 85. They interview a bunch of fucking WWE guys who were barely born. They're telling us about the history of Hogan and Piper, and they have nothing to say.
There's a lot of nothing to say.
Like, there have been many of these where Dave's reviewing one of these. He gets so mad when, like, Miz is on there as a talking head.
Yeah.
And I was like, it doesn't matter. It's a WWE documentary. Then I watched this and I was furious. Like, why did they fucking choose
Why
these
is
guys?
Cody Rhodes telling me about the build-up to WrestleMania 1?
Cody Rhodes at least looked like he was a longtime fan.
All right.
But some of these guys were just like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? We'll get to it as we go along.
So they talk about the old territory system
Yes.
and how Vince McMahon changed everything. He bucked the system. This is his own words. I bucked the system. I bought my dad's promotion, and I took it national and international. And the narrator is like, the aggressive Vince McMahon signed lots of up-and-coming talent, including Greg Valentine and the Junkyard Dog, who were so up-and-coming they'd already been enormous stars.
Yeah. Hey, I will give him credit. They acknowledged that Vince rated Hogan when Hogan was one of the most popular superstars in America.
They did say that.
That's what they said.
They did say that
They didn't
part.
claim that like they made him.
No.
They claimed that, which was actually true. He was a gigantic AWA star, and they rated him.
And in Japan.
Yep, and they took him.
Yes, they did. And he He had been around, of course, earlier in the WWF. May have been. Was it WWF?
It was WWF. He'd been there for
feuding
a while.
with Andre in the like Shea Stadium and stuff. He makes his re-debut with the company as a surprise partner with Bob Backlund against the Samoans. And I really bad wanted to watch this match. They didn't show much of it. Hogan claimed that in the old territory system, he'd been wrestling 13, 14 times a week.
He wrestled a lot.
He wrestled a lot.
He did wrestle a lot.
I would not be stunned if there was a week when he wrestled 14 times.
I'm sure there was.
But I don't think that was the norm.
I don't know if he was normally doing 14 days a week or 14 dates. He couldn't do 14 days last time I checked.
That would be a record.
Yeah.
Lots of time zone crisscrossing. So Hulk beats the Iron Sheik for the title. He becomes just the ultimate superhero. We get a lot of classic Hulk Hogan promos.
Oh my God. After watching Dusty and Flair last week, watching these Hulk Hogan promos, I mean, Hulk Hogan was like a classic Hulk Hogan promo, but these were not good promos. They were so corny and campy, and he was literally like a living cartoon character.
He was a cartoon character.
And Flair and Dusty are out there doing like man promos.
That is fair. That is fair. Hillbilly Jim and Ken Patera is openly saying Hogan was great. We all just rode his back.
Yeah, that's true.
That is true.
I don't know when this was filmed. It had to have been probably 5-6 years ago at least. Because, like, Punk is there.
Yeah.
So it's been at least, like, 4 years. Ken Patera looked great.
Yeah.
He's 75 today.
Yes.
So he's probably 70 years old. And, like, you look back at all these 80s clips and, like, you know, Snuka's dead and he was a wreck when he died. And all these other guys that died in the 80s and 90s. And here's Ken Patera. He's just great. Well, Hulk Hogan, da-da-da. Had nothing.
He's actually much better than that.
Yeah, he was really good.
So Arn, in a glistening moment of truth that passes through here, he says Vince was putting together an all-star team of talent because everyone was already stars. He was taking the best stars from everyone else.
Yeah.
That's true. This included Roddy Piper, who at one point...
This is funny. You should say that, by the way, because that's what they're doing today.
Yes.
And look what they're doing with the All-Stars.
Nothing.
They're on fucking NXT.
Yeah.
And then they bring these guys up to the main roster. They don't do shit. He actually took stars and used them back then.
That is a fact.
What happened to this guy?
So one of these stars they assigned was Roddy Piper, who at one point there's a graphic on the screen, and by the time I had really looked at it, it was already gone, but I'm almost positive the graphic came to was from Glasgow, Scotland. Mm-hmm. Like a glass bovine. So Piper says Piper talks about how deep the talent pool was. He needed to stand out, and so he had always been, as he put it, a mic man. And he introduced Piper's Pit, where he could just go crazy talking all the time. We get a bunch of Roddy Piper promos. They're all great. Says there's nothing... You haven't watched Retro Nitro yet.
Oh, God.
Piper tells some stories on that one, but the stories he tells on that one don't quite match up with the stories he tells on this one, where he claims that he wore plaid and he wore a kilt because he was 5th in the world at bagpipes.
Wow.
I don't know what metal that would be.
I don't know.
Haggis metal, I guess.
Sure.
In his own words, I was a promoter's dream, except I was an asshole.
Well, yep.
They show the coconut bit with Snuka, which is not discussed at all, but they showed it.
Oh, my God. That was one of the most famous angles of the 80s. Mm-hmm. And they literally threw that clip up and it was gone like it was an angle on Raw today.
Yeah.
And if they would have done this on Raw today, nobody would remember it the following Monday.
No. So Roddy they go back in time.
Yes.
Around 1980, Roddy makes his Madison Square Garden debut. Actually, it would have been the 70s, but...
Believe it or not, yeah. I think this story is actually true.
I believe this one.
It seems like it's absolute complete bullshit. He claims that he showed up, and his gimmick was that he played the bagpipes.
Yes.
And that Freddie Blassie or somebody, in order to fuck with him, they took a whole roll of toilet paper and they stuffed it into his bagpipes.
Right.
So he goes out there to perform in front of everybody, and he tries to play, and nothing comes out. And he blows, and finally, toilet paper flies out, and there's a little note, and he's humiliated, and he's embarrassed. And he says, that was it. I was done after that.
He said, guys did a lot of things to me. A lot of more guttural things, he says.
Yes.
But nothing ever hurt me like that.
That was a pretty awful thing to do.
Yeah.
So he did come in, and I am 99.9% positive that it happened, and there may even be footage of it.
They would have put it here if they had it.
He didn't literally go home right after that. He did like a couple of shows after that, but that was it.
Yeah.
So I don't know what actually happened. I mean, I know that happened. I don't know if that's why they sent him home. It could have just been that Vince Sr. looked at him and thought he was too skinny, sent him on his way.
I believe this story.
I believe the toilet paper part.
Yeah.
I don't believe that he was relegated back to the smaller National Wrestling
The
Alliance.
smaller territories of the National Wrestling Alliance.
Yes, where he became a massive star and drew a shit ton of money.
I will forgive all of their lies and inaccurate info just for the shot of Roddy Piper running wild, making a comeback in green and yellow checked trunks.
Yeah.
Not even plaid. Checkerboard. So he says, I went to Portland, blew it up, went to Charlotte, blew it up, went to Atlanta, blew it up. At this point, Vince got cable. Everything changed. And again, one of these small little nuggets of truth is when Larry says, this changed everything. Because it used to be, if you went to a territory and you died there, you just pack up your bags and go to the next town. If you go on national TV and you die, you're dead everywhere.
Yeah, so you got to keep yourself strong.
Got to keep yourself strong.
Yeah, Hogan was mentioning that later, and it was at first I was like, "This is this fucking guy," but then I thought he's right. Actually,
Yes.
I thought he was just talking about how I had to fight for everything I had or whatever. I'm like, "You're Hulk Hogan, you idiot."
Yeah.
Because he mentions I could be fired.
I could be fired at any time.
I'm like, you ain't gonna be fired at any time unless you commit some heinous crime, and even then you won't be fired.
As we have learned.
Yes. So, but anyway, that is a good point. You had to keep yourself strong everywhere. And that was the old thing. Did I talk about Roddy here a couple of weeks ago?
Maybe.
Here's the old Roddy thing. It is true. Roddy goes, I never did jobs. Okay.
His exact words on the show were, I wouldn't lay my shoulders down for anybody.
Yes.
That's what he said on camera.
Now, that's not entirely true. But he would never do a job for Hogan.
Yes.
And the reason he would never do a job for Hogan was because in all of the days of WWF, all the way back to the beginning, there was the champion, and they would bring in a bunch of heels, and the heels would have their run.
Yes.
The champion would beat them, and they were out of there.
They would essentially start on the top.
Yep.
And then work their way down and out.
And they're out of there.
Yeah.
Roddy knew, as soon as this fucking guy beats me, I got one foot out the door.
Yes.
So he thought, he'll never beat me.
Yes.
And sure as shit, he stayed there for years.
Yes.
So he was right in the end.
Yes. So there's some talk about what I'm sure was some real life animosity between the two guys.
Yeah, but they overdid it.
I'm sure that's true too. Piper talking about how all he had done traveling the world to make it in this business, and Hogan just gets famous in a movie. He didn't pay his dues. So on accident, because they had like split tours and split shows, they were just never together until Cyndi Lauper shows up.
WWE literally ran 1,000 shows a year at that point.
Yeah.
They had like 4 crews.
Yes.
So yeah, Roddy would be on one, Hogan would be on another, whoever, Snooker, whatever on another one. Yeah, 1,000
JYD,
fucking shows.
sure, yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yes. So there's the big angle with Cyndi Lauper, and Piper breaks her gold record over Captain Lou's head.
They had 2 shows on MTV.
Yes.
First one was Wendy Richter and Moolah.
Yes.
And after that one, that's where Roddy Piper broke the record over Albano's head. Mm-hmm. Then they did the one with Hogan versus Piper that went to a DQ.
The war to settle the score.
Yes, the brawl to end it all and the war to settle the score were the 2.
We need more names.
Both on MTV.
Shows. Yes.
First one did a 9. The second one did a 9-1. Those are still, to this day, the highest rated shows ever for pro wrestling. Monday Night Wars never even came close to those numbers. I guess Raw came close like once. But never beaten.
Yeah.
And do you know that the first record broken, the main event was 2 women?
That's amazing.
It is, because they didn't even invent women's wrestling till like 3 years ago. It's fucking crazy.
Stephanie's going to be so upset when she learns that.
She won't learn that.
Yeah. So Hogan's talking about how he'd be in there with King Kong Bundy or the One Man Gang, and he'd hit him, and they would go flying. And he'd be in there with Piper, and he'd hit him, and he said, it's like hitting a wall.
Yes.
And they showed footage.
Yes.
And Hogan's hitting Piper, and Piper wouldn't sell shit.
Yes.
He'd just stand there or punch him back. So this leads, of course, to WrestleMania 1, where we have Dusty Rhodes' kid and Rocky Johnson's kid talking about how cool Mania 1 was. Rock, I would believe. When was Cody born?
Actually, Cody was born right around that time.
Yeah, so you would have no memory of this.
Well, you could watch it later.
I guess. So Roddy Piper was not happy with this actor, Mr. T.
Okay,
in
listen.
the ring.
This is the biggest load of horse shit, okay? Mr. T, I don't think people understand how big Mr. T was in the 80s. He was huge!
I had a cereal.
Yeah, he was like a gigantic guy. And if there had not been Mr. T in WrestleMania 1, I don't even know if WrestleMania 1 would have even,
Succeeded.
done anything.
Yeah.
There's no way Roddy Piper was so dumb that he couldn't figure out... Here's the other thing. He didn't want Mr. T in the match, but he admits he's never going to do a job for Hulk Hogan. So he thinks that WrestleMania 1 would have been him and Hogan and he would have beat Hogan?
I guess.
Are you kidding me? It was always going to be a tag match. He had to know how valuable Mr. T was. Him talking about, The one, Mr. T was the guy who almost pulled out of WrestleMania. On the afternoon of the show, he almost pulled out because he thought that the other guys were going to beat him up.
Yeah.
And they thought, if I get beaten up in this fucking thing, my career's over. Because nobody knew anything about fighting. Nobody knew anything about... There was no UFC for another 7 years. Everybody thought Mr. T was the toughest guy in the world.
Yeah.
He's a big, jacked up guy. He played a tough guy on TV. He was in Rocky. They thought he was like the toughest guy in the world. But he was just like a dude. So he thought, if I get beaten up, that's the end of my career. He almost pulled out. They had to talk him into doing the match. So he goes out there and he does the match, and they claim they were beating the shit out of him and all that. They weren't beating the shit out of Mr. T. Piper's acting like it's a fucking... Hogan's acting like it's a shoot.
Yeah, both of them were.
Yeah. I was like, are you
The
kidding me?
animosity got the better of him.
This was bullshit.
So the finish is Hogan pins Orndorff after Cowboy Bob Orton hit a cast shot accidentally to his own man. So it was a success. The money is really rolling in. So they decided to stick with Piper and Hogan as long as they can. But as the narrator says, Piper's desire to be unpinned at all costs leads to a lot of countouts and DQs. And Piper doesn't deny this. So they couldn't do a finish to the feud. So it just petered out.
Well, yeah.
That's what happened.
Piper had the boxing match at Mania 2.
With Mr. T.
Fucking terrible. He had the hair match, WrestleMania 3, Adrian Adonis. Then he went off to make movies. And he was going to retire. He was going to retire for real in 1987, go into acting. And then they literally go from 1985 to 1996.
Yeah, they jumped 11 years ahead.
They didn't go over his whole second run in WWE.
Nope.
Where he had the great WrestleMania match with Bret Hart.
Who pinned him?
Yeah, it was awesome. All that other stuff that they did. He won the Intercontinental title, the only singles title he ever won.
Yes.
WWE.
That big moment.
At least at that time. I think later he got the US title when he came back, or the tag titles or something years later. But yeah, they jumped to the 90s, and they claimed that Hogan wanted to turn heel to join the NWO, like it was his idea.
Of course.
Yeah, they had to beg him to turn heel. And then they have the return at Halloween Havoc 96 of Roddy Piper.
Yes. So it's the classic war continuing, but now the sides have been flipped. And Hogan is the bad guy, and Piper's the hero. And they talk about how it's helped because Piper was on his own against Hogan's whole army. This helped get people on Piper's side. And then Dean Ambrose.
Oh, my God.
Dean Ambrose is on camera, and leans forward with a thoughtful look in his eye and just says,
He was 11 during this match, by the way.
Piper Hogan at Starrcade 96 is very underrated.
Fuck. No. It was fucking terrible. Every match they had was horrible. And it was bullshit because they have this match. Everybody thinks the title's on the line. Roddy beats him clean in the middle with a sleeper. And then the next day on TV, Hogan's still champion. They alert us the next day, it wasn't a title match. They didn't tell you that going in. They sold tickets with the idea that he was going to win the title.
Well, he won, and it made a lot of money. So this feud's got to continue, but at this point, it's not 1985 anymore. It's 1996. And the storyline is, if they're going to keep doing business together, somebody has to convince Roddy Piper to do a job.
Well, they convinced him with some fucking big money.
They gave him a lot of dollars. So they do the rematch of Super Brawl. Hogan's saying, the fans were tired of seeing count out after DQ.
Yeah. You idiot.
So
then Piper goes, our first pay-per-view did record business, and the second did even better.
Yes.
No. Not even close. Although it was the best buy rate in a few years. But like when Hogan came in and had pay-per-view matches with Flair, they did way better than the Piper matches. And they were way better in the ring.
I'm sure they were. So Savage gives Hulk a weapon. Hulk hits Piper with it. Hulk's collapsed, but he lays on top of Piper, and Roddy Piper gets pinned by Hulk Hogan.
Do you realize this entire fucking show is all about a 3-decade feud and whether or not one guy will ever beat another guy one time?
Well, ever lay down, yes.
But now they tell us that wins and losses don't matter.
Right, yeah, okay, yeah.
3 fucking decades?
Yes.
Will this guy ever beat the other guy?
So then we jump ahead 6 more years.
Yeah, let's just jump right ahead.
WCW goes under. Hulk returns he returns to WWE in 2002. So it's Hulk Hogan doing this speech about how he's so thankful to the fans to welcome him back with open arms. This is weird to watch in 2018. So he does the feud with Vince and the match at Mania in Seattle. And Hogan says, I believe this is true too, when he said this. I pride myself on being a very, very good bad guy. A very good heel.
Yeah.
But the best heel is Vince.
Well, that's true.
It is true. So they're fighting, and they're all bloody, so it's got to be in black and white on this show. And then Piper makes a surprise return. Just a guy in a trench coat walks into the ring.
Dude, I'm watching this Hogan Vince stuff, and I can't figure out, what the fuck's the point of this? And then Roddy shows up.
Yeah.
Very fat.
Oh,
Worst
yeah.
shape I've ever seen him in. And he gets in the ring, and he's got a pipe. And he's looking at both guys. And the story is he hates both of these men. Who's he going to hit with this pipe? He whacks Hogan. He leaves. Hogan's down, he's dead. That's it. They never even told us what happened.
Yeah.
You want to know what happened? Hogan won somehow.
Hogan won anyway.
Yeah.
Sylvain Grenier got involved.
What a terrible story.
So Hogan and Piper go into the Hall of Fame together in 2005. They actually showed the line where Piper says, Hogan told us to say our prayers and take our vitamins, and I took some serious vitamins. And then as they're wrapping everything up, Hogan says, we were the original good guy, bad guy combination that really clicked.
Yeah.
There had never before
Never
been
in
a hero and a
history.
villain in pro wrestling.
No, they invented it.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yes, the bullshit is thick in this one.
It was very,
It is very thick. I still liked it. It's crazy, wacky, entertaining people being crazy and wacky and entertaining.
Well, there was that.
Yeah.
If you want to see crazy people being nuts.
If you want to, if you want a documentary and a factual history lesson, this is not for you.
No. If you want to pretend,
If you want
this is a great documentary.
lunatics
Yeah.
sharing their delusions with you,
Yeah.
then great.
All right, everybody, that's it. Hey, listen. This show's available at video.f4wonline.com. All of the Bryan and Vinny shows are available at video.f4wonline.com. That means all the retro shows where we lose our mind, you can watch this at video.f4wonline.com. And if you have not signed up, this would be a hell of a week to do so, because this show's up. I believe on Saturday we're going to do a Landstorm show in studio here.
Wow.
You're going to get the TLC pay-per-view recap after the Christmas show. So I don't even know what this room's going to look like or what we're going to look like.
Fair.
And you'll get the Christmas show. And if you sign up, you get all of the shows, so you can go back and watch last year's Christmas show
Yeah.
as a warm-up to this year's show.
That's true.
And basically watch every show that we've done. About 95% of the Bryan Vinny shows are up there. Every now and then we can't do one, but for the most part, they're all up there. So this is a great week to sign up. Don't miss out. You will not regret it. And that's it, everybody. We're going to wrap it up from here. That's it. We'll talk to you again after a while.
Good night.